Ah, clearly my winning personalities brought you back.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel, and there has been an incident and I would like to discuss it. As somebody with over 3,500 videos on this channel alone, another 1,500 on my second channel, I've been doing YouTube for a long time, going into 13 years here in a couple of months. Usually comments don't bother me, and all this time, it's been long enough, it just brushes right off me, but there was a comment on yesterday's video that upset me so I figured I would upset the rest of you as well. So here we see the comment from Lone Wolf. What's crazy to me is that COD 4 Remastered is already as old as COD 4 was when it got its remaster. Looks like they'll have to do COD 4 Remastered. Holy shit, guys. This completely blew my mind and it has completely warped my entire sense of time and reality. Call of Duty 4 was out for just short of 9 years when it got its remaster back in 2016. During that time, I went from a freshman in high school to getting through all of that, getting out of school, working at Walmart, working at AT&T, starting my YouTube channel, and I was 5 years into doing YouTube professionally by the time Modern Warfare Remastered came out. That seemed like an eternity. Well, by comparison, Modern Warfare Remastered has been out for 7 years and 5 months. Nearly as long as the time between COD 4 and its 2016 remake. Like, holy shit, guys. So of course I had to hop back on the game, right? I got Xbox Live again yesterday. I figured I should hop on, and I was thoroughly disappointed to see that the game is basically on life support. Of course, this came out post Call of Duty Ghosts, and therefore it doesn't show the player count, but it does show player percentages, but I'm not entirely sure they're accurate. If you look for a game of domination, which apparently has 7% of the active players playing in it, you can't find a lobby, or at least I wasn't able to. The same is true of Prop Hunt, which apparently has 5% of players in it, though there isn't a single lobby for you to find. The only way to play Modern Warfare Remastered right now is Team Deathmatch, and let me tell you guys, it's like going back in time. I'm not even talking about the fact that we're playing an old game that is a remaster of an even older game. I'm talking about the player base, the community, the people who are actually on Modern Warfare Remastered in 2024. These dudes are like frozen in time. It's like going back to 2007. I'm talking about players that are laying in bushes. I'm talking about players that are literally hiding in the closet on Crossfire. I'm talking about people crouch walking across the map. I'm talking about people using perk combinations like UAV Jammer on an ACOG M4 with Last Stand. Like, that kind of stuff is what I was running into today, and I haven't seen anything like that in years, mostly thanks to skill-based matchmaking in the newer Call of Duty titles. It was like going back in time, man. I almost felt like I was a kid again playing in these lobbies, not just because I was playing on the maps and using the guns that I grew up with, but also because the player base felt like it did back in 2007 and 2008. I had this notion when I was going into the game that I could just simply hop on and tear things up because of how much time I spent in COD 4 and how much time I spent in Modern Warfare Remastered collectively. But let me tell you guys, I am now an old dog who forgot how to do all of his old tricks. Like, I know the maps, I know the spots, I know the guns, I know the recoil, I know virtually everything about this game. But I absolutely cannot aim to save my life on this 80 field of view. I'm not even joking. Like, my head started to hurt after a couple of games of playing this, man. I have no idea why it was that jarring for me, but it really was. Everything just felt so smushed together. If you bust out like an M16 red dot, the red dot seems to take up like half your screen. It's a lot to readjust to after playing the modern games for so many years. Because think about that. Going back to Modern Warfare 2019, I believe that's when they started to add FOV sliders, even the console, right? I switched to PC entirely for that game, so I'm not sure if console had it, but I'm pretty positive. So call it like 5 years now I've been able to play at a higher field of view, something that I personally enjoy. And after doing that for 5 years, all those games, all those kills, all those matches, and then jumping back onto an old game like this, it was a lot to readjust to, man. It felt pretty bad. I did have a few good games, however. I got one with the M40A3 on Bog, that's so nostalgic, and then the AK-74U on Backlot, which is a top 10 map of all time in my opinion. But guess who's Elgato Software decided to stop recording for literally no reason. I swear to you guys, I am cursed right now. Like last night, I'd always heard about this, but it never actually happened to me. I have two monitors, right? My left monitor, my second one, always has YouTube or something up on the other side of it, right? And typically it's going to be my YouTube channel. Well, I realized it looked like I had a watermark on my video that wasn't supposed to be there. Lo and behold, it was actually the logo from the banner on my YouTube page that burned into my monitor because that page was up for so long that eventually it just burned into it. it. I now have a permanent NerosCinema logo on my monitor no matter what it is I'm looking at. What makes that even worse is when I got up today, I go to turn on my PC and that monitor doesn't work at all anymore. It just doesn't. So now I'm using one monitor. So of course I enable the Elgato software. I start recording. I change my input so I can actually see my Xbox. And then when I went back after I was all done recording and everything, I realized Elgato stopped recording for literally no reason. So I'm just straight up cursed. So those good matches I had, they're not recorded. Therefore they never happened. Therefore they don't exist. But in the interest of time, I had to just make do with what I had. So therefore don't expect anything too fancy with the gameplay here. And feel free to laugh at the fact that I cannot aim to save my life with this field of view. That all being said, it was great to be back on this game again. Like, I feel like a lot of you probably found me back during the Modern Warfare Remastered era. I feel like I was one of 2 YouTubers that actually covered the game the whole year. It was basically me and Sour, and I'm not even sure Sour's uploading videos anymore. It was so nostalgic for me just to see the menus. Like, remember Weekend Warfare, for crying out loud? This is still around. They just made it so it's permanently there, though sadly, nobody is playing it. I remember really looking forward to every weekly update from Raven Software to see what the new game modes are going to be. I remember when they added Slasher and Prop Hunt to the game. I remember the holiday events that came out, which they also updated the game just to have those there permanently. So while you're playing, you can find Daybreak in the playlist rotation. You can find Winter Crash in the playlist rotation. Beach Bog is also there. And speaking of that, if you go to the depot, all the events are still live and still active, and you can still earn those things from the original graves, not the newer graves that we know from the reboot of the Modern Warfare series. Overall, I do feel like this depot system was inferior to the system that we had back in COD World War II, but hell, we are talking about supply drops here. But either way, you would get supply drops from playing the game, and then from there, you would get your depot credits from your supply drops and use those to finish your collections, which would give you new skins for your character, new operators, new camos, new reticles, new guns, all of that stuff, right? It was interesting for the time. It gave people a reason to grind the game, though honestly, I didn't really mess around with it too much because I was a COD 4 purist pretty much, you know. I only wanted to use the COD 4 guns with the COD 4 camos. I didn't even prestige after I hit 10th prestige because to me, the original level cap COD 4, like the gold cross, is still the coolest looking prestige icon in Call of Duty history. Though I would like to say a depot credit style system like that would be interesting for a future COD just to give people a reason to grind the game. Like, what if there was a system like that in the game where you earn this currency by playing, and then over time you could purchase things for free from the shop? Why don't we have that? It would be fantastic in my opinion, though I'm not sure that they would ever add a system like that to the game again. I am sad to see that this game has such a small population. It's right up there with the original COD 4, as well as games like World at War, Black Ops 1, Modern Warfare 3, and Black Ops 2, where you can play them. You can still play all those games. You're just stuck in Team Deathmatch, and at best, there's going to be maybe a handful of lobbies going at any given time. And depending on the COD title, the entire game may just be completely hacked. Black Ops 2 has hacked all the shit, for example, so, you know, you probably don't want to go back and play that game. Still, though, it warms my heart to see players grinding Modern Warfare Remastered and enjoying it, which really just goes to show how great of a game Call of Duty 4 was and how influential it was on the community when it came out back in 2007. It still blows my mind, however, that almost the exact same amount of time has passed between Modern Warfare Remastered and now, and the time it took between Call of Duty 4 and its 2016 remake. That just blows my mind, and what's also even crazier is it's been almost 8 years now, and that's the only remaster we ever got. And yes, I know they remastered the Modern Warfare 2 campaign. That does not count. I'm talking about like a full game remake. We've had one ever in the COD series, and it was about 8 years ago, which is freaking ridiculous. I feel like I should be heading to a retirement home after realizing all of this, and I wanted to make this video today so that all of you can feel as old as I currently do. Ladies and gentlemen, that is all for this video here today. I hope you enjoyed it. Leave your thoughts and feedback down there in the comments. Thank you all so much for listening, and I hope you guys all have a wonderful day.